Yep. Okay, guys, welcome to my next session. And to understand why I don't like pies, okay? I don't know if you are with me or not on that one, but today I will tell you why I don't like them, and hopefully, in the way, also how you can improve your test reports, okay? Just a reminder, okay, as it is my tradition, for the best question, you also have a bottle of port wine, okay? So start thinking on that one. And hopefully you will enjoy this talk as much as I did preparing it. So let's jump to the first one, okay? And this is a reminder, we will come back later on to this, but I always like to go back to the basis. Yeah? It's okay? Okay. So testing, it's context dependent, okay? Keep this in the back of your mind. As I said, we will come back to this later on. So, tester skills. Do you know this one? Are you familiar with the tester skills quadrant? Yes? Some of you are? Yeah? Okay, some. Okay, let's then go through them. So, this is the reason why I say that to be a tester, it's actually a quite challenging role in our days. So, you need to know, of course, you need to have test knowledge, right? It's part of your business, it's part of what you do. So you need to know about the test principles, you need to know about the techniques, the test tools. So you need to have that knowledge. But besides that, you also need to have the domain knowledge, right? So you need to be able to use the shoes of the business, right? If you are not able to understand the business, how can you test it? You cannot. So you need to have that, understand the business process, understand the user, different personas on the business, and also the business tools. But you also need to understand everything about IT, right? The different development models. So yesterday we were talking about waterfall, about agile, Scrum, Kanban, but also the different flavors that we have from that, right? Fragile, like waterfall, or agile fall, right? So you have all these different mix. So you need to learn how to deal with them. And then, of course, you have, least but not last, the soft skills. Did you ever have any training on soft skills? Raise your hand. Okay, a few. Good. Because actually, soft skills, some persons believe that soft skills is something that you're born with them or not. That's not really true. So you can train the soft skills, and these are the most important ones from my understanding: the communication, the critical mindset, presentation, and reporting, okay? So today we'll try to look to the reporting and how we can improve our reporting skills. 80-20, okay? As I told you, I love the basis. So, and if you had the talk yesterday from Olivier, he was talking about selling, right? So we don't prepare anything together, okay? But if you realize, some of the talks will touch, because it's basically the same topic, and it's about software testing. So 80% it's good at testing, but one thing that we are really, really bad, it's selling. And we should be good selling software testing. It's what we do, so we should be able to sell it. Do you want to join this side? That we shine. Okay. So, soft skills, as I said, soft skills are really the hard ones. You need to train. But before training the soft skills, there is a very important step that you need to understand where you are on that soft skill and that you need training, okay? So that's already a first step that no one is taking for free, okay? It's not easy to understand, I need to improve my communication skills, okay? Most of the time you say, no, I'm very, very good on communication skills. And everyone else around you is not understanding anything that you are saying, okay? But you believe that you are really, really good. So we can work on these skills. But let's go back to the topic, okay? So why I don't like pies, and why not? Okay, you can say, why not? Because you can find, it's like pizzas, right? You can find it everywhere. Here in Yerevan, you have, these amazing pizzas also. So you can find pizzas everywhere, you can find pies everywhere, and for everyone's taste. They can be sweet, sour, veggies, with meat, with chocolate, you just name it. You have something for your taste. Well, what I don't like it's the pie charts. Okay, those ones I really don't like, and hopefully I'm not alone, especially if you look for these communities about data visualization. They are with me on this fight. Okay, they don't like pies also. But why? You know, you have different styles for pies. Okay, you have these kind of donuts. This is also a pie. Okay, it's a little bit disguised. It looks like something different, but it's a pie. And also, you know, you have these what I call rectangular pizza. It's just a different flavor or different shape for the same thing. Okay, it's still a pizza chart, it's still a pie chart. So the information that it tries to share, to visualize, it's still the same, and it will have most of the problems. So let's go then a little bit further into this. Why I don't like pie charts. Okay, why not? So actually, they are not easy to read. Okay, we as humans, we believe that we are good comparing size. Okay? We are not. We are not so good on that. And besides size, when you look to these pie charts, what it makes it even harder to understand, it's these angles. Okay? So if you try to compare, it's really hard to understand if it's the same size or not, just because the angle is different. Okay? So it doesn't make really easy to understand the information that you are trying to get from the chart. Besides that, to have pie charts, it does not make it easier to compare data. Okay, look to A, B, and C. Can you say anything about this? What is the difference between them? You will need some time to go through, right? Oh, yes, different angles, but that's not what we want to get, right? Imagine that this is like defect status for different release. Okay, first day, second day, third day. Are you able to understand if we are getting better or worse? It's really hard to get that information, right? But if you have something like this, you can say, oh, look, in the first day, the red ones were the smallest number, and then in the third day, that completely changed, right? Now, the red ones are the ones failing. So now we have a bigger number of test case failing, for example, okay? But just with the pies, it's really hard to understand that. Besides that, it's also difficult to understand or to read trends, right? If you use these rectangular pieces, it makes it a little bit easier to show trends, but even so, it's not so easy to compare the data between both of these. If you have something like different bar charts, or even better, if you combine them, you can see the difference easily, right? What happened from one to the other. Some things kept the same, other ones improved, other ones get worse, so you have all that information visually. You don't need, to spend a lot of time. You don't need to write a huge text explaining what happened, what is the difference. And besides that, you can make them really, really worse, okay? If you want to make it even harder to read, just use 3D, okay? But don't stop there, okay? You can make it even harder to read, okay? Just go with transparent, okay? So this is really hard to read. If you go to the TV when there is some elections, they love this type of charts, okay? All the politicians love pie charts. Why? In the end of the day, in the elections, no one loses the elections, right? Even the guy that is not on the parliament, they say, no, we won. Because they can show a pie chart that somehow looks like they won something, even if everyone says, oh, you lost this. So pie charts, it works for all the situations, and it depends a lot on how you read them. So it's not something that you want in a report. But if that's true, why are they so common? Do you have pie charts in your reports? Sometimes. Yeah, okay. Do you have pie charts in your tools? Yeah, probably they are the default chart, right? So why? Because they are easily available. They are there, okay? It's the default. You have that pie chart, so why not to use it? And why are they available on the tools? Because they are really easy to build. You don't need to have historical data. It's just a snapshot, right? If you have tools, for example, like Jira, you can easily create a snapshot. Today, what is the current status? But if you try to build a chart that will show the trend since the beginning of the project, that will start to bring you some challenge. Okay? You have some charts like that, but you always need to say, oh, last 15 days. Okay? And that will be cumulative, not from the day 0. So it's not easy. The tools are not prepared for this. Okay? That's why you will see lots of pie charts, but not the charts that are really useful, that will show you real information. So, and as I said in the beginning, and I told you, I will come back to that later on. So testing is context dependent, okay? But it's not just the testing. You know, the reporting is also context dependent. When you are writing a report, you need to understand what are your stakeholders. That report is for who, and what is the message that you want to send with that report, okay? And if the person that reads the report will need to go through a huge text to understand the message, probably we need to improve that report, right? It always goes back to a story some years ago. One of my team members was saying, oh, we have this huge problem, this red flag in the project. I said, okay, send me the report. And I was looking to the report and I said, well, I don't see any red flag here. I said, no, look. If you look to this chart, and if you look to this date, and if you look to this color, that, then you understand that after two weeks, we are in the same point. So 2 weeks were lost in the project, 0 progress. I say, so that is the main message on your report, yes. And the stakeholders will need to know that, looking to the chart and making some conclusions, yes. Okay, then delete all of that and just put that in a single line, okay? So the message is quite important for the stakeholders. So, but, you know, don't be afraid. We have some alternative, we have some good charts. Do you know the S-curve? You know this one? Yes? Good, okay. Do you use it? Yeah? Okay, sometimes, okay? Remember the talk from yesterday, right? We only use 20% of the tools. We don't use, even if we know them, we don't use so much. So what is, for the ones that don't know the S-curve, what is, and you can see the S here, right? So that's it. That's why it's called S-curve. So for the ones that don't know what is an S-curve, let's go a little bit deep into this. So from the mathematical definition, it is a sigmoid function, mathematical function with this S-shaped curve, okay? I'm not a mathematician, so I will not go into details. From the business, it's the growth of the business usually follows this S-curve, okay? Especially, for example, the ones that are working on startups, it's quite easy to understand this, right? In the beginning, we have a small business, right? We have some income from the investment, but actually from the customers, it's a small amount. And then it starts to grow, like it goes skyrocket. And then in the end, it starts to stabilize again, right? So we are not getting so much new business. From project management, it's the same thing, right? We are used to do, for example, the ramp up of the teams. We start with a small team just to define the foundations, define the plan, the strategy, and then we start to increase the team size, right? Bring more capacity, more manpower to do the actual work. And then in the end, we start to go into that stabilization phase, where we start to release some of the team members because we don't have, basically the work is done when we are just doing some support. So that's again the S shape. And you know, you can just say that this is a simple graphical display to cumulative quantities plotted over time. Okay, so on the line you will have the time, and then on the vertical you will have the quantities. Okay, it can be different things, it can be money, can be defects, can be test cases, but that will be the quantity part. So why do you need the S-curves? So you need to plan and control. Okay, so you need to build estimates and to monitor your progress against the S-curves. Okay. You need for the report of the progress. Okay, these S-curves are useful all for that. For example, for the test case execution over time. Okay, not today, but over time. And I will show some examples why is that relevant. And you also need to report the quality. Again, you can have different source, different measures on these reports. You can have it with test case for the progress, but you can also have it, for example, for the defects. And you will have this, the S-shape there also for the quality. So S-curve, it's a method for all of these. And we already went through this, so I will not spend a lot of time, but we have the different stages of the S-curve. So the initial slow growth, right, when you are going up, and then you have the rapid growth, when it goes skyrocket, and then you have this late stage slow growth. So you have another inflection point where it starts to stabilize again. And ultimately, you will go to this last status where you are not getting anything new. For example, on the test case execution, you are not finding any new defects. And hopefully at that stage you say, yeah, we are ready to go to production, right? What happens in real life is that sometimes we go to production when it's still going skyrockets, right? We are still finding lots of defects, and the business says, yeah, we need to go live. And everyone knows what will happen, right? We will find lots of defects in production, we will suffer, but that's sometimes not our call. But again, we can show that information, okay? We can show them, look, we are still on this skyrocket jump, okay? So if you decide to go, yeah, it's your call, but we will suffer. So what we need to do to have this? Okay, you need a tool, okay? Not a very expensive, complete tool. You can use any spreadsheet for that, Microsoft Excel, Google Sheets, whatever, okay? And if you are using, for example, Jira for your data, you have plugins for both Excel and Google Sheets, so you can automatically integrate them with these tools, and you have the raw data that you can use to build your S-curve. Then you need estimates. You need the duration and the quantity, okay? So that will be the target values. And then, of course, you will need to collect, the snapshots over time, okay? If you are just looking for the snapshots, that will be your pies. But if you are collecting them over time, then you can build an S-curve like we saw before. And then, of course, you have the data, you have the tools, you have everything that you need to build this cumulative chart. And it can be, with an area chart, with a bar chart, with a line. You can have different versions of these to have the S-curve. So how to build it? Again, you have the curve from the theory, okay, that will indicate the optimum progress, okay, and that will be using this formula. Okay? You can just create this formula in your Excel file, and with these 3 and 8, so the 3 and 8 are basically the inflection points, okay, when you start from the slow growth to the skyrocket, and then in the top, when you go from this skyrocket again to the stabilization. So that means the 3 and 8. You can adjust these values to your project, but if you just use these with the current day, the total days, this will give you a very, very nice S-shape that most probably will fit into your project. So this is the scariest thing, okay? And then, of course, you will have this output. And you can say, well, mathematics, formulas. Well, if you are already scared, okay, just ping me and I will send you a sample template that you can use, okay? As soon as you build that, you don't need to worry any longer with that formula, okay? It looks complex. You have a template, you just fill in with your information, with your data, and it will automatically build this S-curve for you. So, can I use it without the S-curve? Yes, you can also use it, okay? Why? So this is just to compare, okay, with the baseline. But besides that, you will also have the S-curve pattern. So even if you are not using this S-curve, if you look to your data, you will see most probably the S-curve. It could be the case that you will not see one, but for example, 2 different S-curves. Okay, you will see the first one, and then you are blocked because the development guys deliver something without quality, and then you will wait several days without real progress, and then they release a new version, and then you will have a second S-curve, okay? But the pattern is there, okay? You just need to plot it, you just need to draw it, and you will see that it's there. Let's jump into some examples. Okay? How are we on time?
Yes, of course. We have 20 minutes.
20 minutes, okay. More than enough, okay? I kept some time for the questions in the end. So, as you can see, this is a very simple one. This ideal world where all the test cases are passing, okay? So it should be similar to your projects. Everything is green. Of course, we still have some things to execute, and the S-curve is already here, okay? So if you plot this as a pie chart, what you will see will be probably around 50% gray, not executed, 50% green. It looks nice, okay? No reds, everything green. But if you plot it like this, what do you think? Are we in a good shape for the go live? No, right? So just using the same data, but in a different chart, you say clearly, no, we are in deep, right? But if it's a pie chart, it looks nice. Nothing red, everything green. We still have work to do, yes, but you don't see that the go live is just around the corner, right? When you show that to your project manager say, why are you screaming? Oh, these QAs again, they are always in panic, always complaining, always saying, oh, we will not be able to do it. In the end, everything works, right? We are always able to do it. So it's green, okay, don't worry. When you show this to the project manager, usually they are smart enough to understand that this will not happen, right? You are running against the wall. You can run faster, but it will not help you because the go live, it's already there, okay? Second one, what do you think? Same shape, different chart. Again, amazing team. All the test cases passed at first. So this one looks good, right? This is what we want to see. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yep.
I guess in the previous slide and also here, I'm just expecting to see the planned curve. So what's what we have planned in aspect, for example, how many test cases we are going to execute, and our actual part. So because here, maybe it's planned that I will increase the team and I will reach out my goal. Or in a second place, when everything is perfect, we just reach out the car. So what is our plan and what is our expected one, I guess?
Yeah, exactly. So if you have this, and realize that I'm not building a chart with the S-curve. Okay, so I'm just going with the basic. I'm saying, okay, I will not use the formula. I will not have the S-curve. I'm just looking to the data, and I'm seeing the pattern there. And just that, it's enough for me. But if I want to do estimations, if I want to understand, okay, what do I need to do to bring this green to the go live? Okay, and yes, I need to increase the team, or I need to change the dates, right? Because I don't know if you have this saying, but in Portugal we say that 9 women will not be able to deliver a child in less than 9 months, right? So it does not matter how many you have, it will not happen. So in this case, yes, if you could work with a plan, you will say, okay, look to the project manager, we need to do something, and then you could see like a different S-shape here that will bring it to the date. Sometimes it's possible, sometimes you have this information and say, look, even if we bring everyone in the company, we will not be able to make it, right? Because there is simply not enough time. So it's better to tell the customer today that we will not be able to do it, right? If not, on the last day, we'll go there with a surprise thing. Surprise, we will not be able to deliver it, okay? So forget all those marketing campaigns, all the things that you have on TV, it will not happen. So it's better to anticipate that. So let's go to the pie charts, okay? The ones that I don't like. So what can you see here? Does it look good or bad? This should be similar to what you have in your projects, right? Similar to what you have in your reports. So what is the message that you are getting from here? Looks good, looks bad? Nothing. So why are you putting that in your reports? Because they look nice. They have nice colors. To say nothing, yeah? It's beautiful. Yeah, it's true. It looks nice, right? Exactly, that's the point. So this does not give what? It does not give us the context within our project, right? So now you understand that you are putting something in your project, in your reports, that actually is saying nothing. Okay, that's my point. That's why I don't like pies. Okay, hopefully we will start a movement to stop pies on the test reports. So let's look what this could be. The same version, the same data. Okay, when you look to this, does it look good? I'll say, yeah, pretty good, right? No, it does not. Why? You see the S shape here, right? It needs to be much higher to be able to reach the go live, right? In this one, we have some more detail. In this one, we understand that we have these to retest. So what does it mean? It means that I can go to the project manager and say, look, I have the things on my side. I have backlog on the QA side, but I'm not being able to deliver it. I'm not being able to retest everything that I have. So this could be a good opportunity to say, guys, we need more QAs in the team. If not, then we will not be able to achieve it. If we get someone that will be able to help us with the QA, then yeah, it looks good. Most probably we will be able to make it, okay? So that's why it's important to have also the detail on the charts. And it could be defects, could be test cases, depends on the information that you are trying to share, okay? What is the message that you want to send? And that message can also have different stakeholders, okay? And for those different stakeholders, it could be the case that you will need to look to the same data, but to different categories, okay? For example, if the message is, look, most of our defects are critical, then probably you will build a chart like this, but with the critical defects, with the priority of the defects or the impact, whatever you use in your case. If you are just looking for functionalities, for example, you're saying, oh, look, this functionality is really broken. We have these blockers. So you could look to the same type of charts looking from different views, okay, if you want to pass different information. Let's look to another one, okay? Same information, same chart, same pie chart, okay? But the date moved from here to there, okay? So in this case, again, we will not be able to make it, right? So we are again in deep, right? So this will not work. We already failed the milestone, okay? But again, if you're using these in your reports, everything looked nice. We have just a small amount of red things. So why are we saying that we are failing the milestone, right? So again, this will give you information. This will give you some meaningful context that you can share with your stakeholders. Another one, different scenario. So what can you read from here? It doesn't look like it will happen, right? Again. But in this case, the message is different. Okay? Did you ever have that situation where the QAs are ready, right? We are ready to start, but we don't have anything to start, right? Why? Because developers are still working on it. We are failing, and we are not getting anything fixed to work. Why? Because the code is really bad. They are trying to fix something and then it's broken in another place. Or they don't have enough capacity to fix the defects. So in this case, the message is different. So we are saying we are not being able to deliver on time, on the milestone, but the problem is not on the QA side. We need to reinforce the development team. Okay? So again, you can use the same chart to deliver different messages to different stakeholders. In this case, it's for the team lead on the development side, right? You need more developers, or you need to sort out something on your side because it's not working. And this one, what do you think? Well, this one looks good. Finally, one that looks good, right? We would like to have this case in our projects. And so how can I further improve this? Okay, and the last talk of the day, actually it's a follow-up because I will be talking about EVM. Okay, so you already have some snapshot of what EVM looks like. Okay, but I will go a little bit into more detail how you can improve your S-curve analysis with some tools to be able to understand things like the schedule variation or the cost variation. Okay? Yeah, we are good. We are just finishing. Okay? So final takeaways. We are on the last part of the curve. Okay? Almost there. So don't use pies, please. Okay? If you like them, if they are available, good. They look nice. But if you are trying to build something, to deliver some report with some information, with some message, pies are not the best option. Okay? It's good if you only have 2 or 3 different data points. Okay, like you saw that I used a pie chart right in the beginning, 80-20. That's good. That's okay. The shape does not matter. Okay, you can see that one of the areas has a big percentage and the other one just a small. That's a good case for a pie. There is no trend. There is no evolution over time. It's just a snapshot. That's the good use for a pie. Use S-curves. So they are useful with or without estimates, okay? So when I say estimates, it's when you have the curve using the formula, okay? So even before starting your project, you can already estimate that. What will be the shape of your S-curve, and then you can compare your progress against that S-curve from the formula, okay? What we were just looking, it's the shape from the execution, right? The pattern is there, but we were not comparing that against a formula. And again, look into the EVM. As I said, this will be the last talk of the day in a couple of minutes later on. So if you want to look a little bit more, let me warn already, this is not a very fancy topic, okay? It's not so interesting, but I think it can be useful. So if you want to learn a little bit more about EVM, just to know the concept, you can jump into that talk later on. And thank you. Obrigado. Merci. Thank you. So we have some time now?
Yeah, we have 8 minutes.
Okay.
And we can start conversation for that pretty gold bottle. Do you have any questions? You can.
Thanks very much for the conversation, for the presentation. It's Richardus. I just wanted to ask if you used robot framework to generate such curves.
Yeah, to generate the chart?
Yeah.
Okay, so usually that information, it does not come from the execution tools, but we get it from the management tools, okay, like Jira. So we use Robo Framework to execute the automation tools, but please keep in mind that we have automation, but we also have manual testing. So, and in the end of the day, we want to see the full result, not just what is happening on automation, but also what is happening on manual side. So we import everything into Jira, and then we grab both of the information from Jira, manual and automation, into an Excel file or a Google Sheet, depending on the case, and then we can build information from there, okay? It could be also the case that you want to build something like this to show the difference between manual and automation, okay? Because the S-curves will be there, but we are looking for the final one. If you want to pass a specific message, then, for example, if you want to say that manual testing or that is finding more defects or less defects, or it's failing more or less than automation, then probably you can use 2 different charts to show that message, okay?
Thanks for the presentation. I would like about how we should build a S-curve with the previous data and get the snapshot from the Jira. Should we use GQL or there is another possibility?
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, good question. Yes, you can use GQL. Basically, what I will advise you is to use the plugin. I don't know if you are aware of the free plugin from Atlassian that helps you to connect to the Jira, and using GQL, you can extract that data, okay? On the Google Sheets version, for example, you can do something better. You can do like a trigger to automatically, a scheduler, to automatically retrieve new data every single day, for example, okay? You also have other options that connect directly to the API. If you send me a message, I can send you some links. Sorry, so you have some plugins that will that are able to connect to the API from Jira and extract also that version. Okay, if you find something that is not available through the JQL, for example, if you want to build something like this with effort, okay, you will not be able to extract easily that information from Jira. If you are using, for example, the Tempo plugin, that is one of the most used to report effort, you will need to connect to the Tempo API to extract that information, okay? And you have a very nice plugin for Google Sheets that will be able to do that with pagination, with schedule. So it's not free, this version with schedule, but it costs like, I don't know, less than 100 euros for the license, and it's quite useful, okay?
Colleagues, do you have questions? Yes, one more.
Okay, thank you for the speech. Maybe we should go next and not only do not use pie charts, but do not use any charts. Just use raw data, just look at numbers, because it's easier to understand. Okay, we have 20 files, okay, 20% of files. Why do we need charts?
Well, yes and no. Okay, let me explain why. Yes, the data is important, okay, but you know that one image, it can oversees more than 1,000 words, right? So one image, it's quite powerful. You can paint your numbers with red, right? But to have a big area red, it's completely different. In one of my last projects, it was supposed to be a special project. If you joined me yesterday, and that special project was just 3 months. Okay, it was really a short one. We were just called to help a team to do end-to-end testing. Okay, just a final acceptance on their behalf. And 2 months later, I was still blocked, waiting for the mobile apps to be delivered. Okay, and I could put that in a number saying 0 execution. Okay, what I did, I built a chart like this with a huge area blocked. Okay, in this case, I think it was the blue, something like that. Yeah, blue. Okay, so instead of this, where is it? We showed, yeah, instead of this green, it was blue, blocked. Okay, and that immediately jumped into the eyes of the manager. The manager says, "So, are you blocked since 2 months ago?" I say, "Yeah." "Oh, that's why you are asking for more money for more time." "Yes." "Okay. Yeah, you will get it." I got it. Okay? So it's quite visual. Okay? Numbers are important. You always need to have the numbers in your pocket. Okay? But they are not so useful to pass the message. Okay? And if you use numbers, you will need to make them really big so that they will jump into the eyes of the stakeholders. Okay? So I always go with image, with charts, to make it more visual. Okay? Everyone sees, okay, this is green, it's good. If it's blue, I don't need to explain anything. They just look to that and they say, yeah. And keep in mind that if you have a number, they will need to read it. Okay? I don't know your managers, but most of the managers that I know, they read the beginning of the email and sometimes they scroll until the end. Okay, sometimes. When they see an image, they don't need to spend a huge amount of time to understand, right? They don't need to understand the numbers. They just need to understand the colors and the shapes, okay? So I try to make it easier for them to understand my message, okay? So if it was just for me, numbers, but for them, project managers, we need to make it easier for them, okay? I'm also a project manager, okay? So.
And we have the last question.
Yeah, I think we have 2 more. Yeah.
Thank you for the presentation and insights. I have a question about how do you persuade managers who prefer pie charts and insist on using it? Thanks.
Good question. Good question. How do you go to a doctor, right, to have a surgery, How do you persuade the doctor to use a different tool? You don't, right? He's the expert, right? So that's what you need to do. When the project manager wants something, say, okay, you can use pie charts on your reports. I'm the expert on QA. So these are my reports, my ownership, okay? Sometimes you don't need to ask permission, okay? It's like automation. Oh, should I do automation or manual? You know, I'm sick with the same answer. Oh, the project manager didn't allow me to do automation. Come on, why did you ask? Right? You need to test something. How you test? It's on you. You are the expert, not the project manager. So don't go and ask the project manager if you can do your job in a more efficient way. That's it. Okay? Don't ask, just deliver. Okay? Thank you. You have one more there? And then I think we are on time, right?
Yeah, we have only 1 minute.
Yeah. Okay, 1 minute.
Just basically, if we are not doing such reports for the progress, let's say, but we need to present the real state of a snapshot for this particular release, for them to have a look and say, go, no go, basically. Yep. And if they prefer pie charts, yes, sir. Is it fine?
Well, if you are only looking for the current status, right, for the date, then pie charts can be useful for that, okay? But if you want to show, for example, look, today we are green, but in the last few days, we are always red. So what could be the case is that we didn't, for example, in this, see if I have some to explain a little bit more. Yeah, so imagine this one, okay? And now everything goes green, okay? Did you retest it? Everything below? Or do you believe in miracles, right? So probably everything is green because it didn't retested everything. But you can say, look, in the past, these were the problems, okay? Everything was red. So now from one day to the other, we were able to receive everything, and now it's green, okay? If the context is important, if you want to raise that concern, looking, you know, I'm concerned because most probably they break something, but we didn't have enough time to retest everything. So on that case, you will need these charts. If you are confident and you just want to get a final go, no go, then just show a pie chart. Okay, make the life easier for them. Okay, you can even say more. Look, from the QA perspective, it's a go. Okay, now the decision is yours, but it's a go. Okay. We are.
Thank you, Joel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Choose the
best. Oh, now
question.
the best question. Okay, lucky one. Thank you. Enjoy it. Thank you guys for being here. And again, just post some stickers over there if you like it. If not, tell me. Okay, I really like to improve. Okay, thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Joel.